Hi there guys, this is Farmer Bob. Welcome man to my channel. Great to be back on another map conversion video guys on the Durango map. Our previous video was a tiny bit too long. It was almost 2 hours or just over 2 hours, I can't remember. But anyway, this is video 11 and we're going to continue our conversion series on this. We are so close to being done. Well, so close. We still have to do all these trains. But we'll get to those in due time. This video, however, we're going to focus on the last few things in the placeables.xml before we get to the trains. Is this 3. So we're going to try and finish these, the farm stuff and whatever we need to be doing on the farm. You know, so good, man. But yeah, before we get to that, if this is your first time, a big warm welcome to you. Do pause the video now and just hit the subscribe and the like if you do like my content. If it does bless you, also consider blessing me. Always good to share it around, you know. Excellent. Well, guys, yeah, let's get stuck in and go for it. Right, so the first thing we want to do, I just want to catch you up on the BGAs. On our previous video, we did this BGA and the 2 silos. And then off screen, I did this one. I just did exactly the same process. Deleted the existing, add this one directly from the map, and the 2 bunker silos as we put in place. Same stuff, same drill, with the exception in our placeables. For the bunker silos, I just gave them consequent names, so 1, 2, 3 and 4, you see. And then BGA South I renamed, just gave that a different name as well, but it's exactly the same XMLs as you can see. And all you need to do in your store item section, actually you don't need to do anything there. It's just the BGA and the bunker silo, one of each, and that's it, because it's all the same XML. There's no difference in there, you know. So that's it guys, just a quick catch up there on what I've done off screen until now. Good. Alright, so let us get stuck in. Just want to close up all the other stuff that we don't need. And the next thing we want to tackle is the FarmHouse. Now the FarmHouse, if we look at the items from the original map that's been converted by Giants, which is the same as the FS19 one, but this is just a 22 version. It's the same thing. You can work from both. It doesn't matter. Alright, so if you look here, FarmHouse placeable, it is a custom FarmHouse. So we're going to have to export that and re-import it and convert it to FS22 format. So I'm going to give it my best, see if we can save it. I'm sure we'll be able to save it, but yeah, let's give it a crack and see. So it will be a nice experience for you to follow this. It's going to probably be textures and shaders and all kinds of stuff. But yeah, let's get stuck in with that. So what we need to do then now is go to that map, the converted one, and let's open that i3D. Sorry, we can't open the i3D because remember, this FarmHouse is a placeable, so it is a placeable that runs off the placeables XML. So we're going to go into the directory for it is placeables, farm buildings, farm mansion is the XML for it. So we're going to go there first. So it's placeables, farm buildings, farm mansion.i3D. That's it there. So we open this obviously first of all and check for errors. Even though it's been converted, I can guarantee you there's going to be errors like the shapes file is old, stuff like that. So let's just check for errors first. Although I don't see any flickering, which is a good sign. If you start seeing flickering, you know you've got glass and all kinds of stuff. There we go, old shape file. So that's very simple and easy. Just save the file and that's all sorted out. And then just reopen it, farm mansion. And I suppose it's going to be the same thing with the storage barn when we get to that, which is probably one of the next placeable items. Alright, so there it is. Problem solved. Yeah, I think this actually came out nice. I don't see any problems. If you have any issues, it will show here in the log, you know, of the console. Good. Alright, so let's grab this farm mansion. Go file. Export selection with files, and then we go into our map, which is in our mods folder. I always work out of the mods. There's Durango, and then we're going to go imports, and I wonder if I do have a placeables on this. Yeah, I can put one in here. Let's create a folder here, farm buildings, like we have in the other map. All right, so we create our own directory here, and we just call this what it is called in the main thing, farm mansion. All right, so let's just copy that. Makes it easier at the end of the day, you know. There you go. Paste it in there. So it's the farm mansion. It's the new i3D. Save it. And now we're going to go no to both of these because we don't want anything from the old map or the old FS19 game or anything. However, game relative paths, we could have actually said yes to that. Let's just have a quick browse. Durango converted. Let's go in here. Placeables, farm buildings. See what it's all got in here. Yeah, you see these things. I think is going to be unnecessary. So let's just delete that. Try it again. I'm going to quickly test this. Go file, export selection with files, mods, Durango placeable farm buildings, and then just put that in there again. Farm mansions, save. Do you want parent directory structure? No. And then keep game relative paths? Yes. So if there is relative paths, we'll see just now. So you see, it's a tiny bit of stuff. Now, to verify now, we have to open this i3D in the editor and just check if there is anything, texture South American. Yeah, you see, I think if we it might be that some of these textures are in the FS19 directory. Now, to give you a tip there how to sort this, let's just close this. All you do for now is go into Farming Simulator 2019, the installation, go common, and just put a 1, just rename this directory to 1, just like that. Save it, just there. Okay, so it is 191. So now if we open that now and there was anything related to Farming Simulator 19, it's going to give us tons of errors when we open that i3D. Farm buildings, common. What did I do now? I know. Absolutely messed up there. Okay, so Durango, placeables, farm buildings. So let's just open this again, notepad. Alright, so sorry man, you don't open it, you just actually open the thing, so you can check the console for errors. So in the console it will tell you, oh I can't, or you'll immediately see it's all white and all kinds of stuff because textures are missing, and you'll probably have 10,000 errors. Alright, so no. In this case, all those textures were actually from the FS22 game. Alright, so we know now for a fact that all is well. So now we can go back there and just rename our installation back to what it should be so that everything should work fine again. Alright, for Farming Simulator 19. Okay, good. Alright, so I'm happy with that. That was actually very simple and easy. I didn't expect it to go so smooth. Farm buildings. So farm mansion.i3D is working. So let's just open it one last time just to verify if there's any problems in the console now that we've exported it. Open the console. Always good to 3 times check, you know. So if there's any issues, then you can fix them before you import it into your map. Never import something if you haven't checked it for any errors, and also if there's any errors, fix them first and then you can import it. Alright, so the next thing we need is that, let me see, farm buildings, the XML for this. I want to just check the farm. Yeah, you see it's done some stuff here. So the farm building has got some stuff in it. Alright, so I'm going to show you a trick now, guys. I'm going to show you a trick. Instead of trying to fix this is going to be a nightmare to sort out, because you're going to have The day-night stuff you don't worry about. You can just delete those. So those are lights that work in Farming Simulator 22 by default, so you don't have to worry about that. But the spawn point and all that kind of stuff that is normally in a farmhouse, if you go into the map or the game itself, data placeables, where is it? Is it lizard farm building? Just want to have a quick look. Horse. Why am I not remembering where the farm buildings is? My word. I think placeables. Let's just go map US. Yeah, each map has got its own, yes. So if you go FarmHouse and open the XML for FarmHouse, check all the stuff that should be in there. It's a lot of stuff. The hotspot. That's the attachment props. That's irrelevant. Clear areas, leveling areas. That's alright. That's just for placeable. Tip occlusion. Doesn't really matter. We can actually try and edit that XML to be up to date. I wonder if we should give that a go. We have the time and we have the try and the what can you call it, we have the drive for it. So let's try that, see if we can get that sorted. Alright, so what I'm going to do is let's keep this open, because we might have to add some stuff in here, like some nodes and whatever into this thingamabob. It's got a sleep trigger, which is interesting. Clear area, leveling area. The visuals is alright, that's nothing to be concerned about. Normally the visuals you have that at the bottom. So let's put it in there. Spawn point, sleep trigger, sleep camera. Alright, let's leave that, let that be. So let us take the FarmHouse 02 XML and modify that into the FarmHouse mansion. So what I want to do, yeah, let's do this. Alright, so what we're going to do is copy this. We actually don't need the XML, but we need to copy this one here from the converted one. We copy that XML in here. Alright, so we have the XML and then we open it. Alright, so that's now the right one. This one is the wrong one, so we want to modify this one. This is the in-game one. Let me just close all the other stuff. Those I can leave open. Alright, so farm mansion and farmhouse. So let us do the store data first. Store data is in there. So I'm going to copy. What I normally do is just copy the inside of the store data, like so. Control C. Come over to this one. Make a lot of space in here so that we don't get confused. Control V, so we bring that in. So first of all, we just go through the ones, because this is all the stuff that's needed in the XML for store data. So we're going to just run through both of them. So name, object farmhouse, object farmhouse. So that looks the same. So I'm going to grab that, copy, or cut it. Let's rather just cut it, and then we finish off with them one at a time and paste, overwrite the existing one. Then we have image. Okay, so image doesn't matter. That is just our store farm mansion. Alright, so it has a store. Let's have a look if it's got a store. Farm building, there is a store, farm mansion. Alright, copy that, bring it in here, Control V. So there is a store. So it's placeables, farm buildings. Note the spelling, guys, because I think there might be a problem with spelling. Let's just verify in the XML. So it's placeables, farm buildings, or farm building. So I've got placeables, farm buildings. Alright, so it does look like it's going to work, you know, placeables, farm buildings. So we don't have to do anything there. And then farmmansion.png, we've already just copied that over. So that's fine. Price, lifetime, we can leave function. So the function is very important. This is new stuff for FS22, so we cut that out, and that was just under image. So let's drop it in there, home, paste it in there. All right, then we have our image we can delete. All right, show in store. What I normally do is double click so you can highlight and see if there's anything. Show in store, price and lifetime is alright. So price and lifetime, we can delete that so long, just there. Can be sold and show in store. Control X, drop them in here. Can be sold, show in store. Price and lifetime is fine. We're done with that. Rotation. Don't think, yeah, with rotation we do. Okay, so that's good. So that we can just delete. Brand. Brand none. Brand lizard. Okay, so let's go brand none on this. Brand doesn't matter. You can choose any brand. So leave it at lizard. That's all right. Then we have species and category. I just want to be serious if there's a species on top one. There is a species. Placeable, that's fine. Don't think there's a problem there. Category. Okay, category, there are two. There's a brush. So it looks like to be honest, it looks like Farming Simulator 22 converted some of this and added it in there. So yeah, to me, all looks well for the rest of store data. Placeable buildings, sheds. Placeable buildings, farmhouses. So all we need to do, make sure of the spellings, and then farmhouses. Copy that. Category buildings, sheds, farmhouses. You see? Like that. Good. So there's the rest we can delete. Up to there. So what's left is store icon rendering. I don't know why that is, but let us just cut that and drop it in here. Alright, so that has now been very interesting. So that's store data. Now base is something that's added in FS22. Just copy that and see if there's a base. Oh, there is a base. Oh, wonderful. Alright, so they have added the base. Good stuff. So we love it. Base can be renamed. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to grab this one key here and drop that in. Can be renamed. This is only one farmhouse, guys. Big tip. If you have more than one farmhouse, so farmhouse 02 or farmhouse 03, then you will add a extra line here that says bought with farmland. So you can grab that extra line from any of the farm buildings in map US. You'll see there is farm buildings, and then I think the farm barn, I think it's got it in. So if you open farm barn, you'll see here bought with farmland. So you add that line to it. If you have a second or third house, very important to have that key, otherwise your house doesn't show up in game. Alright, so that apart from having farm ID also set to farm ID 2 and farm ID 3 on those in the XML, the placeables.xml. Alright, farm mansion. Back to where we were. Base. Now after base we have placement. Okay, now placement, we don't worry about those. Placement, mind you, let me just see, farmhouse 02. It's got test areas. I just want to quickly check on that mansion. I think clear area, level area. Okay, so we've got clear area and level area, which is still coming. There it is. Okay, so placement. What happens with placement is if you want to buy another farmhouse, it uses that placement to set some areas for you. So yeah, I'm just not too sure. Just want to see. It's just got that in there, so we leave that let that be. Then I want to check for the next one, tip occlusion. There's no tip occlusion on this farmhouse, so let's not be bothered with that. Oh, we have tip occlusion. There it is. Size. I'm talking trash. Tip occlusion, start and end. It's got a size on the FS19 version. So tip occlusion, is there anything? We've got level and clear, nothing. Great, so it's just a matter of going through the stuff. So I'm going to leave this as B. And then let's just delete all the green stuff, because the green stuff is the stuff that Giants has chucked out when they converted. Alright, so let us make some more space here. Right, back into the farmhouse. Now clear areas we do have. If we look at this thing, we have clear areas. I just want to see a start width and height. Alright, so there's one clear area that we can select. Right, so we'll come back and balance the clear areas, width and height. So there's only one. So let's copy them all, and then I'll delete the rest that we don't use. Like so. Like so. We only have one. Clear areas 1 start, but it is not clear area 1, it's just clear area, because the names are important, guys. So it's just clear area start. Alright, so that's alright for the clear areas. Leveling areas, just make sure, keep forgetting what it is. There is a level area, and the same drill with this, start just one of them. So leveling we'll bring over, Control C, in here, Control V. Level area, the other two we can delete. Level area start, level area width and height. Alright, so that's the 3 we have. Next up, indoor areas. Indoor areas is nothing. Control C in here, so we just drop that in V. There's no indoor areas. And then AI. AI very important. You need that in FS22. Drop that in here. And then all you do, if your XM or if your i3D does not have AI in it, and it shouldn't have because it's FS19, so all you do is delete the center of it, just that center one, like that. So you have a blank AI section, which is perfect, so you don't have problems. Dynamically loaded parts we can skip. The hot spot we want to obviously copy that, drop that in. Hotspot type farm, link node 0, so we're going to have a look at that where link node 0 points to. So I think maybe let us do that now. Farm barn, farm buildings, a farmhouse. Let's open that farmhouse 02. Let's have a quick look where that link node 0 is. Teleport nodes point. You see, that's very important. It's point. Right. Link node 0 spawn point. Spawn point, there it is. Right. 083. So we have to look at what is link node 0. Let's just go back there to the XML. Type farm, it's a hotspot, link node 0. So link node 0, what is link node 0? It looks to me like it is, if I check there, that is link node 0, clear areas. So we don't have a clear area. Do we have? We don't have a clear area in ours. I think we skipped that part. No, we do have a clear area. Sorry, man. There is a clear area. Why? Why do we not have a clear area on the thing? Yeah, we do, man. There it is. So it's actually link node 0 clear area. I can just do the same here, push that up so that it goes up there to 0 like that. So it will be the same. So what we need to do here then is just copy that obviously over. But we'll do the balancing in a minute. Let's just finish the XML to build the XML. Great. So the hotspot, we've got that in. Farm mention hotspot is in. Next up, FarmHouse 02. Trigger markers. Sleep trigger marker. That we definitely want. We want a sleep trigger. Control C. FarmHouse mention. We drop that in there. So now what we need to do is, we don't have a trigger marker here. We have a sleep trigger, but we don't have a marker. Just want to quickly have a look on this one. Sleep trigger. Trigger marker. You see, it is just it's got no thing on it. It's just a transform group called sleep trigger. There's nothing in it. Trigger marker. So all we can do on our side is grab this name, Control C, come into our house and create a transform right in there. And let's put this right between the two and just rename this to sleep trigger marker, like so. Alright, there you go. So it will be at the same spot as your sleep trigger. So what we do, we take the same translations, Control Shift C, and we go into this trigger marker V. Just do the same stuff so that when the marker will be the same as, because this is just a node, there's nothing in it, it's just a node for the marker to appear. But this is the actual trigger. If you press F on that, I can't see it here, but it's going to appear here. That's the trigger that's going to be appear. If we say it is visible, why is there no visible trigger here? Anyway, not to worry too much about it. Back into this house, sorry, into the XML. So we've got our trigger markers, that's good. Sleep trigger marker, that's the node. So it will look for that node and it will pull this file main with this icon, put it on that node. Okay, and the icon ID is, it will be an exclamation mark. That's what's going to appear. Alright, so good. Next thing. So that was the farm mansion. Lights. We don't have any lights, so we don't do lights. So the next thing is FarmHouse spawn point. So this will be our spawn point. Control C into the XML. Control V. Spawn point. Alright, so spawn point, sleep trigger, sleep camera. Camera node is sleep camera. So let's just have a look at our camera node on this. Sleep camera, is that sleep camera with a cap C? Sleep camera. Okay, so our node is right. Trigger node is sleep trigger. Sleeping trigger. Sleeping trigger. So let us have a look on this one. Sleeping trigger. This one I'm sure has got a block. Yes, alright. So that is an actual sleep trigger. And this one, sleep trigger, does not have a block. That's what's so interesting about it. I wonder if this trigger, oh, it's got a block. Sorry man, I wasn't zoomed out far enough. Oh, there you go. It's got a block. I was going to say, my word, how is that even possible? Alright, okay, so that's good. Sleep trigger. I just want to make sure of the name, sleep trigger on this, and on the XML it is sleeping trigger. So let's just make sure on this house it's sleeping trigger is the name for it. So let's just make sure the names are correct, because it's very important. So it's sleeping trigger to have it the correct name. So there for the node, that's a node again, and it's going to look for that node, the XML If it doesn't find it, you're gonna have a problem. And camera node is sleep camera. So let's go in there once again, just check. Sleep camera, and in ours it's sleep camera and sleep camera, so that is perfectly fine. Just check the we'll balance the XM, the i3D and the XML just now when we're done with all of these. Then we have the mappings, guys. Now the i3 mappings, very important for FS22. You cannot run any XML if there's no, especially a working XML, if there's no i3D mappings. Alright, so we're going to copy the whole lot over, just the mappings, copy like that, drop it in here, like so. And then the ones that we don't use, we'll just get rid of them. So we're going to run from the top and work through all the nodes and stuff. Alright, so that basically is how you build an XML for a thingamabob. Type is FarmHouse, that's very important. Don't forget about this type here, guys. If you ever build a XML from scratch, you need to have a type here on top, because it's going to be a problem if you don't. Even here you'll see right on top, place type FarmHouse. You see by ours it's just on the end, so it's just what's XSI FarmHouse 2. Okay, I think what we need to do is grab this placeable. I'm going to grab this line, because there is definitely a Control C, and then just do this here. I think the converter did all of this already for us, but I'm just going to overwrite it just to make sure that we have the right stuff in place. And if we go to the bottom, it's got that highlighted, which means it's fine. Good. All right. Now for the balancing, guys. Now we're finished with the FarmHouse 02. Now we want to check the balancing. So the base is fine. We don't have a problem. My word, I've got a big mosquito here. Let me just get rid of this thing. Good. Placement, that's all right. Hotspot, clear areas. Now the first thing, clear areas. We need to start node, width node, and height node. We need to set that. So this house we finished with. I'm going to not save it because it's an in-game house. Right, so clear area, start. The node for that is 0, 0, 0. Control C. I'll just copy that. And all we need to do here is drop that in there. Control V, like so. Oh, wait a second. I think I made a mistake. No, it's fine. It is fine. There's no problem there. The start node, the width will be that. Control C. Control V, like so. I think what we can do is get rid of the front of it. It doesn't really matter. It's just it's at 0, so you just delete the 0, the first set, like that, and then lastly on the height will be 0, 0, 1. We can just grab that, copy that. Control V. However, I don't think it will be a problem if we left the 0 and the greater as in there. Okay, the angles are fine. Level area, same drill. Now I'm actually a little bit just sort of. I just want to have a look at the clear area start. See, they don't have nodes. They have the names in, that's correct. In FS22 you don't put the number, you actually put the name of your start node. So that is what we need to do. So we have to take the clear area start is just start. That can't be right. I'm going to leave it as is with the index path, because that's also all right. I don't think there'll be a problem if we put the index path clear area 1 start. So if you go into, for instance, into the farmhouse 02, just want to have a quickly check there. It's actually called it calls the name. You see clear areas, and then they've got clear area 1 start, which is the node. So it doesn't use that, it uses the name. Alright, clear area 1 start. That is how it flies with FS22, which I don't think it will be a problem if we leave it as is. Clear area 1 start. Sorry, am I at the right thing now? I'm at the wrong thing. We're at clear areas, so start node, width node, and height node. Yeah, just leave it as is, that will be fine. Start node, width node, and height node. So it's start node, width node, and height node. Yeah, it's just the names, and I can't use the names in our i3D because we've got start width, and it will not work. So let's rather stick to the node, the index paths, then we know it's going to be perfectly fine. It should be alright. If not, we can come and change it, but we'll give it a test just now. Okay, so that's enough for this clear area. The next one in the XML is the leveling. So let's do leveling next. Sorry, that's FarmHouse 2 again. Leveling. Alright, so back in here. Clear area, level area. I'm going to do level, move that up there. Alright. Alright, level area start. I'm going to copy it with the greater as. I feel much more comfortable with doing it like that, you know, instead of just this. Control V. Like so. That's the start node for leveling. Right, and then width will be that there. Control C. And then height will be that one there. Control C. Control V. Now ground type dirt is alright. If you have mapping for ground types in your map.xml, it will pick up dirt there. Alright. So if you clear an area or level an area, you can specify what type of ground cover you want there where it's leveled, you know. So in this case it's dirt, which is alright, but you can choose from any mapping that is available in your map.xml. Alright, so dirt is fine. Okay, leveling and then tip occlusion, that's fine. We have already got, wow, we've got 2 clear areas. So I'm just going to do that. Why do I have 2 here now? I forgot to delete stuff, or got 2 leveling as well. Oh wait, somehow I think you guys probably laughed very nicely at me, you know, when I was making all these mistakes. Leveling, tip occlusion, indoor AI said is fine. That is fine. Oh no, the hotspot. The hotspot we have to create. So link node 0 is the spawn point. Alright, so we're gonna go into ours, and I said it was on the original, it was at clear areas, link node 0. So so let us do the same by us. I think it is already. I've moved clear areas up there, so it's fine. It is 0, spawn point, and farm. Teleport node, spawn point. So we have to have a look at the teleport node, if there is a teleport node in our mansion. I don't see a teleport node, so once again into the original, find the teleport node. Could it be that's the problem though, it's got nothing to do with that. So let us have a look at the teleport node is spawn point. Let me just check my house for a spawn point. There it is, man. Sorry, we created that, I think, if I'm correct. And that is a 02. Control C for that. What was it on the original? It was better check the original, guys. Let's just check the original FarmHouse 02. Oh, I did already have that. I already had that open, so I'm just going to open a third one. My word. Okay, let's just check this one for the spawn point. Spawn point, which were under, was it under features? Spawn point 083. It's definitely not that, yeah. So it is definitely 00. Okay. Anyways, I'm wasting time. We can always come back if there's an error, if it doesn't work, or if you don't spawn at the right spot. If you select the house and you press visit, it should take you to the spawn point, which in our house it is perfectly fine. We've put it in the same spot, so it should be alright. Okay, and then that is fine. There's no other nodes there. Spawn point node. Trigger, sleeping trigger, we've checked. Sleep camera, we've checked. Right, so back to the mappings. Now, clear area start. Start with height. So the others, clear areas, we can delete. Doop. And now I think clear area 1 was just clear area start. So there. And then we have to check the nodes for there. Clear area once again. So start is 0, and then 0, 0, 0, and 0, 0, 1. So let's just verify that. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1. That's perfect on level area. So this is balancing, guys. We're balancing now. So the same drill with that. Level area, start width and height. Okay, so start is 0, 1, 0, and it should be 1, 0, 0 and 1, 0, 1. Okay, let's have a look at that. 1, 0, 1. Okay, perfect. And then obviously the others we can delete again up to there. Test areas. I don't think we had test areas, but let's just have a check. Do we have test areas in the XML above? We didn't put any test areas, so I don't think we're going to need that because it's not in the XML itself. But why is it not? I'm sure in the main there was a test area. Placement, test area. You see there were a test area. So placement, and by us we have placement. Here it is. So only that. What to do, what to do, what to do. So we can create a test area 1 and test area end. Start and end. If you look at the original test areas, it's just setting the width and the height. I think it's the width and the height, yeah. Yes, it's just setting there's the one, and then on the other side, the other corner. So it forms like a square block. Area 2, other side. That's probably the width or something. Not too sure what that does, but anyway, can't remember what it does, to be honest. It's something to do with the placing or something. I'm not too sure, guys, to be honest. But anyway, let us leave the test areas. In the XML, it's probably going to complain, guys. I know it's going to complain, so let's just put it in the XML. But mind you, we have a placement in the XML. Sorry, man, there it is. So let's just see if it's happy with that. If it's not happy with that, we'll have to come and add it. So let's chuck the test areas. Like so. Interior self-illume. Okay, interior self-illume node. So let's have a check at that. It's 03023. 03023. So visuals is 03. Interior 0302 and then 03 might be 02 interior self-illume. There it is. Okay, so there's just stuff in the house that we don't have. This is your night stuff that has been replaced. The night lights from FS19 has been replaced with this illume, you know, where with visibility it will be render invisible. It is invisible. Oh my word. Okay, interesting. So let us leave that alone. We don't have that in ours. So in the XML we can just chuck that. Tip occlusion we don't have, but I'm almost positive we're going to need it in the XML. To be honest. Well, wait a second. Oh yeah, we don't have it here. Or do we have it? Tip occlusion. Did we put it? I'm sure we should have added a line for it at least. There it is. Tip occlusion. And in ours. Sorry guys, I had to just cough there. Tip occlusion. So we have tip occlusion update area in ours. But that's not going to fly for FS22, I think. You're going to have to add this like so, Control C, and just overwrite that like that, and then delete the inside because we don't have tip occlusion. Alright, so at least when you don't have anything, you put that in there and it's happy like that. Indoor areas. Alright, so that's a tip occlusion areas. Indoor, sorry, we were here at the mappings. Tip occlusions, we can delete them. The lights we can do, get rid of. We don't use the lights, or we don't have lights in our mansion, I believe. Sleep camera, there's no lights in there. There is some lights, point lights, whatever, but that should be alright. We'll leave those, let them be. If we have errors, we will have them in game, absolutely, I'm sure of it. But let's just focus on finishing the XML and getting it to work in game. Alright, so we were at level area 1. Level area 1. I just want to make sure of the name. It's just level area, not level area 1. So once again, let's delete the ones. Sleep camera. Okay, next one. Sleep camera. Sleep camera. Sleep camera will be 05. Copy that. Sleep camera. Like so. Trigger marker. Okay, sleep trigger marker. It's 03. Copy that. Like so. And then sleeping trigger. Sleeping trigger. Sleeping trigger is that one there. It's 04. Copy that. into the XML 04 spawn point. Spawn point is there. That's the one we've created. It's 02. Copy that. Spawn point node will be there. Control V. Wardrobe trigger. Now, wardrobe trigger we do not own or do not have. We don't have any wardrobe stuff. And wardrobe is normally, I think, if I'm correct, I think it's dynamically loaded parts. So it's props, attachments, not really. But our XML does not have wardrobes, or nor does our thingamabob. Props we can delete. So that is basically all the mappings done. And now, guys, believe it or not, we now have to save this thing. And we're going to need to test it to see if it is even possible to work it, if there's any errors or whatever. Alright, so here we go. Save this i3D because of all the changes. We can close that up. And now we have the FarmHouse.xml. So now we can actually go into the map US, grab the FarmHouse 02 line for it, Control C, into our placeables. I'm gonna once again leave some space open so we can create a space between the different stuff. We're doing the farm stuff now, so that's going to be quite nice. And then file name, we want to obviously what did we do with that FarmHouse.xml? Farm buildings, farm mansion, placeables, farm buildings. I can leave it in here, it's fine, but I like to have all my XMLs in one place, you know, so cut it in there, drop it into our XML, Control V, like so. There we go, farm mansion. So now I can go back here, just grab a map there, XML, copy it, and drop it in here, like so, Control V. There you go. FarmHouse 02 needs to change to farm mansion. Control C to copy it. Double click, Control V, and there you go. And now, position and rotation is now where we're going to set it. So, back to our items.xml from the original map. Get our positioning for it. Goop goop. Control C. Into our map. Pull it in, file import, and now we need to make sure we're working out the mods one, which is this one, farm mansion. And now we will see is there any errors pulling that in, but let's just get it in its spot. Farm mansion, Control Shift and V, paste it for us, click on it, press F, and have a look at its positioning. Does it look alright? I must say it is spiffy, very spiffy. Just to verify, it's at 000. It's default farm property and farm ID 1 on the original. Let's check ours. Default farm property and farm ID 1. That's perfect. And then obviously now we need to put the right position data in our map. Control V. The rotation was 000 if I remember correctly, so we want to fix that up like so, and the rest is fine. Okay, cool bananas. I like that a lot. And then lastly, obviously as usual, copy for our Modesk, overwrite this one, paste it in there, cut it, drop it, paste it, save it up. Okay, and now in here, FarmHouse mention wara. Okay, good stuff. Save this. We've got everything else is saved. Our map in placeables, that's fine. We have to save the map just to have a working. And let's go and have a look in our map. What surprises do we have? What surprises do we have? It's actually a much easier option to do it than to go this way. it's just by adding a sleep trigger, you know, a separate sleep trigger with XML, and use the house as just a straightforward placeable, but not as a farmhouse, you know. So yeah, that is the other option that you can follow. So let us now check. It's time for the tire to meet the road, they say, something like that, you know. Hey, wait, what's happening now? Giant engine 9. What's going on with the Giant's engine? Suddenly we are waiting for the program. Why are we waiting for the program? Oh, there you go. Stuff is happening. I think maybe my hard drive was asleep, you know, because I've got some stuff on the hard drive. Durango, enter and start. So now, sorry for that, guys, if I made some noise in your ears. I'm gonna have a check now. I don't see. So far, so good. Normally the XMLs loads a bit later on, just before your game actually loads, like 80-90% somewhere there. Let's start loading the XMLs. At the moment it's all shaders and map setup and environment and fruit and all kinds of stuff. Right, particle debris, material holder. Oh yeah, there was some stuff that it couldn't find. I could immediately see that. We can quickly roll back to that errors. 0101 failed child spawn point, only 0 children given. Okay, so there is some, oh my word, I can't read there. Let's just go in game, confirm, no, so I can actually read. There you go. 010. Leveling area start net not defined for place. Okay, so we have to do it the way they want it. So we have to modify our XML and our R3D to have the same wording. That's all. We can't have just a leveling area start. It has to be leveling area 1 start, and then we have to just do our R3D the same. So that's basically sleeping camera node level placeable is not a camera. Okay, camera sleeping camera node is not a camera. Okay, so we've got some stuff to figure out there. Good. I don't even know where the farmhouse is on this thing, but I doubt if we're going to see an icon for the farmhouse. I honestly doubt it. I think it skipped the farmhouse completely. Good. Okay guys, I've just come to a corporate decision, meaning me alone decided. Great, so let's have a look at the mansion. What I've decided to do is just show you a quick and easy way to sort out anything like this from FS19. If you've got a placeable that doesn't have any working components, you can follow the steps and easily just overcome just by making it a standard, just a thing that drops into your map when the map loads, especially when you're working with farm IDs. Alright, so let's have a look at this. So what we're first going to do is go back to this XML, which is, do I still have it open? It's farmmansion.xml in our map directory. Okay, so let's go there. Mods Durango, then it is placeables XML. No, sorry. Yeah, that's where it is. So what we're actually looking for is farmmansion.xml. Sorry, man. So it's XML farmmansion. There it is. So what we're going to do is leave the store data, because that's just store data. You can say leave it to be sold, that's right, and show in store is good, because that too means that you can remove the item again, you know. So if somebody starts up his game and he doesn't like the farmhouse as a placeable, he can just sell it again, you know, so that is always good. FarmHouse.i3d, that's fine, that we definitely need. So placement, hotspot, so the hotspot we're going to remove. I've got a copy of this. I'm just going to make a copy of this just to sort of satisfy myself that if I make a mistake, then I do have a backup, you know. I do have a backup of the whole map, so yeah, it will actually, just to make sure, you know. Alright, so hotspots we remove, so we don't want that. Clear areas, we just do that. Leveling areas, we just do that. So we just chuck all the internal workings of this thing. Tip occlusion is already done. AI is already done. Hotspot we remove completely. Trigger markers we remove completely. Okay, and then FarmHouse we remove completely. So now what's going to happen now, this thing is now just a spawn point. i3D mappings, we remove the whole thing. We don't need anything there, and just leave it like that. Alright, now we're going to test it just to see if it's now just a straightforward placeable. I mean, in other words, just something that's got no functionality at all. It's just a building that drops in as a default farm property. Okay, so let's have a check if that is true in game. So I'm going to quickly start up the game while I'm jaw flapping here in the background. And then let's see if the farm mansion is actually there now. So this is like just a test, you know, get around all the nitty gritty stuff that we want to get rid of out of the way. Oh, by the way, my Ravenport map is in for review, so it's hold thumbs and wait for it and see. Hopefully it will be there. Where is it? Now I've got too much stuff in my folder. There you go. Just went past the Durango. Right, good stuff. Going to just pull up with this background. I must still do the preview of the map. As you can see, it's still the default preview, which is horrible. What is that? Imports building shader. That's our building shader error, which is no problem at all, so we don't worry about that. If this map was to go on to anything like a mod up or whatever, you'll have to fix that, either fix it or remove it or whatever. But this is a private conversion for a guy, so it doesn't really matter. It doesn't influence the game or anything. It's not an error in the game, it's just some stuff that we can't figure out or sort out. Okay, I just missed what that priority thing's there. We'll come back to that just now. The main thing is to see if the house is now going to be there. So I'll have a quick browse. So once it's finished loading, I just want to get to a better screen so we can have a browse. Now obviously it won't show up as a picture of the house on the Durango farm mansion. No spawn node defined. Warning, placeable update areas. Did we ever save it? We did save the farm mansion, and it does pull it in as a placeable. Sorry, where am I now? That's the wrong placeables. Placeables. FarmHouse, farm mansion. And our farm mansion, it is the right one. Mapter XML, farm mansion. Mapter XML, farm mansion. Yeah, it is the right thing. So why is it still talking to me about placements and leveling and all kinds of stuff there in the map? Alright, so let us just have a browse quick on the i3D. It's calling. So it's calling placeables, farm buildings, farm mansion. Alright, so it's placeables, farm buildings, farm mansion. So let's have a quick browse at this and just remove all the stuff he's complaining about from our i3D. So we'll just chuck all of those things. So for some reason now the i3D is dictating to the XML, which normally it should actually be the other way around, you know. Clear area, level area. I think it's the shop it's actually the shop, guys, that's doing this. I wonder if I should say show in store. Yeah, let's just have a check. I'm going to I'm like in two minds now what to do. Alright, so let's just make a backup of the map quick. I know I've said I have a backup of the map, but just to be sure, let's go back to the drawing board and just make sure that I'm just going to close this for now. Come on. It's taking so long. Durango. Just copy that, Control C, drop that into my backup folders. Maps, backups, FS22 Durango. So that one goes. Okay. And then that one becomes number 1. So there's my second backup. And then this is my first backup. So I've got 2 backups normally to fall back on if anything goes south, you know. All right. Okay, so while that is copying, I want to go back to that R3D, but let me just wait for this to finish, because otherwise, if it doesn't finish up, yes, who knows what can happen, you know. So let us open that so long while we're waiting. Okay, we go back here, Durango, placeables, farm buildings, farm mansion. Okay, there it is. Almost done, 60%. One day when I'm big, guys, I'm going to buy myself a nice, fast second hard drive or a backup hard drive. Because this thing it's a 2 terabyte, but it's fairly old, you know. Mind you, I don't think they're spending much money on tech these days on physical hard drives or what do you call it, or the old magnetic style hard drives, you know. Electromechanical hard drives rather. That type of stuff. But anyways, there you go. Alright, so now we can quickly jump in here, pull it to bits. So we have a sleep trigger, which we don't need. So we're going to delete that. We have a spawn point, which is alright. Mansion viz. Just want to see if there's anything in here. Sleep camera. We don't need a sleep camera. Current active. Okay, so this is our current active camera. I'll leave that. Doesn't matter. Clear area, delete that. Leveling area, delete that. So normally these things shouldn't bother, because it is normally dictated by the XML. But in this case, the game is very adamant with us. It is looking for that. So let's just get rid of it. So we have clear leveling indoor. Clear leveling and indoor. I wonder if I've just shot myself in the foot by talking a lot of trash. So I probably didn't read that error messages good enough. I think we actually just need some sections in the XML instead of complaining about the current ones. Oh my word, guys! But you'll have license to laugh at me, you know. So no problems. I don't mind. So let's just have a look. If it is the case, but it just rings a bell now. I think it's not stuff that's in the R3D. It's stuff that's missing from the XML. That's all. So we'll just copy it over from another XML. Very simple and easy. But let's just quickly have a look. Quickly have a look. If there was, I could have. Normally you could leave that stuff in the R3D, because if it's not defined in the XML, it will not load. That's basically how it works. So let's have quick here. No spawn node defined. Spawn node. You know what? I think it is. Let me just go into the map, because yeah, it's difficult to read on this horrible texture. Right, there you go. What was that talking about? No spawn node, alright. And this one is saying missing AI update area, start node. You see, so it still thinks, I know what it is. I know what it is. I know what it is, guys. Here we go. Quit that. I think it is because of the XML type that it's loading a FarmHouse. So we must change the type. The type here is FarmHouse. You see, so that is why. My word. All right. Okay, so all you do is, let's go into FS22 data placeables. Grab any normal placeables. I'm just going to use a shed. Let's go for the sheds. Lizard. Where's that sheds? It is called beehives. Sheds. Easy sheds. Where's the easy sheds? Easy shed, sorry man, it's not part of lizard. So let's just go easy shed 01, grab one of these on the XML, and we're going to go simple placeable, control C, form mention, just type that in there, simple placeable, store object. This is the store data, it shouldn't make a difference. Form mention, that's fine, all of that is alright. I think that was all that was causing the issues, guys. So if we call it now a simple placeable, oh yes, and also in the placeables, if it's got a map bound ID, you see FarmHouse. So what we need to do is just change that also, so so that the game doesn't get confused between what it is called. So who's got an easy shed? It is Maps. Map Alpine's got an easy shed. So we'll go into its placeables and go easy shed, control F, easy, and just find it for us. There it is. So it doesn't have any map bound ID. Alright, so that is the key there. So remove the map bound ID from our placeable, just like that. And I'm sure it's going to work now. Alright, let's give it another go, guys. They say third time lucky. I don't know who talks trash like that, but anyway, let's just think in our minds that we've conquered the problem, you know. So let's go for that. Great. Good. I'm just gonna go here, Durango. There it is. Good. So yeah, I think it's going to be spiffy now. I think we'll have a problem again with that. I forget about the type sometime, you know, if your placeable type, because the game has got certain things for the type. So when the type loads, here, let's just go in there because I just think we're not there yet. Alright, so here we go. Let's go and check. What was that? Auto drive. Let's have a browse. New Earth, missing update area. Okay, that's got nothing to do with our thing. Selling station, New Earth, missing tip occlusion update. Okay, so that's stuff that's in our placeables, which I haven't picked up. So that's all New Earth stuff. Sorry guys, this is all the placeables that I haven't sorted out. What's this? Store deliveries. Oh, that's why I say never test your maps with mods in it, you know. But I use store deliveries all the time, so that's just an error from. So yes, we have won, guys. We have totally won that problem. Now, if we can figure out where the house is on this map, I think it's here in the center there somewhere. So let's just go here to the gas station. I'm pretty much in the mind of maybe it is right close by, you know. So let's have a quick browse. Okay, up and Adam. Where shall it be? Where shall it be? Here we go. The mansion should be here now. There it is. Our mansion is definitely working and showing. And now if I go to the shop, sorry, not there, in here, construction, and if I click on the house, I should be able to sell it. Yes. Okay, the object has been sold. Perfect. Alright, so our XML and placeable system is perfectly alright. So if somebody doesn't like the house and they want to get rid of it, you know, that type of stuff, which by the way I don't think we'll have a problem with that again. Good. Okay, so now the trick in adding just a sleep trigger. So all we do now for the house, to make it a house, is to add a sleep trigger. Now my favorite for that is using a doormat, which is alright. What you can do on my website for downloads, there's a sleep trigger there, so you download the sleep trigger and just follow my suit. You can also download my map, which is probably going to be the easiest. Just download the map. I actually made a whole video on installing the sleep trigger. So download the sleep trigger, follow the install instructions of the sleep trigger, and for those of you who are lazy like me, you know, so in that way, you know, just watch what I'm doing now and copy that. Alright, so I'm just going to use my Pilgrim's Rest map. I think if I go to Maps Backups, where am I now? Oh, wait, here we go. FS22 Pilgrim's Rest. In there, I have a, let me just see. I have, okay, this easy shed. Oh, don't worry. Don't want to open that now. Placeables. It is maps. Map F4. Items, placeables. Placeables. There you go. Okay, now we find the sleep trigger. Let me just Control F, sleep. Search for sleep. There you go. Alright, grab that line, copy it over to our placeables, which is this one. Drop it in there. Good, so now we have the sleep trigger in. Alright, so we have to find farm ID. Must be 1 obviously on this. Farm is true for farm, default farm property. Age and price we can delete, don't need those, and position or everything else. Position, rotation, that we'll put in just now. So now we did just grab the actual sleep trigger from XML sleep trigger in the map, which is my Pilgrim's Rest map on my website. So download it there if you want the whole setup that I'm doing here. So we're going to go sleep trigger, copy that into our map, Durango placeables, Durango XML. So copy it in here. Alright, and now we need to open this sleep trigger and see where did I stack the R3D. So it is under maps, map F4 imported, sleep farm 2. Alright, so that is where I've pasted it. So I'm going into the Pilgrim's Rest map FR imported, what did I say now? It is imported sleep farm 2. Alright, so sleep farm 2 is the folder. There it is. And that's our sleep trigger. So all I'm going to do is copy this whole directory and go into Durango, imports, and I'm just going to drop it in here. Control V, sleep farm 2. I don't have a placeables in here, do I? I do actually have a placeables. I could have just dropped it in here. So let me rather put it in there, because imports, I normally use my imports for obviously stuff that I've imported from the old map. Control V, pocket here. Alright, so we have Durango placeable sleep farm 2. So that will be placeable sleep farm 2. So it will only be there. Placeables, like so. Placeable sleep farm 2 sleep trigger. So the same drill goes there. I'll just copy that, Control C, overwrite that, sleep farm 2, Control V. So now it's pointing at the image as well as the file there. Just want to check if there's anything else with directories. Doesn't look like it. All of that should be fine. I'll save it up. And believe it or not, the whole issue should be solved. So if we now just want to make sure I've got the right spelling. Placeables. Yeah, does look all right. And in here it's placeable sleep farm 2. Right. Okay. I think that has solved our house issues. And now if we open the game once again, we can quickly verify that our house is now finally done. And then that will conclude our, I think, if I recall correctly, all our placeable stuff. for Durango. So I'm just going to go new former, find Durango again, there it is, and let's just scroll through the stuff. And now we should have a sleep icon there, a little house. Oh, we didn't put the, oh my word, we didn't put the, that's how stuff happens, guys. That is exactly how stuff happens. So, sorry, I forgot about the stuff. The positioning data for the sleep trigger. We never imported it and put it, so obviously it will not be there. Just for the fun of it, get this out of the way. Can we see a sleep trigger somewhere where it shouldn't be? I'm just having a quick look. There's our shop is in the middle of nowhere, and we still need to do the shop. I don't see a sleep trigger anywhere, so which means that it is possibly off map. Quit. Oh, in the wrong spot somewhere. All right. So I wasted the whole 2 minutes of video time. Right. So let's open the map. Durango. Open it up. And all we're going to do now is basically import that sleep trigger, place it at the convenient spot where we want to sleep in the house, and then just update the XML, the placeables.xml obviously, and add store data. That is the most important thing that we forgot as well, is the store data. Without the store data, it will not show up. So we just really shot ourselves in the foot. Alright, so let's have a look in this mansion. Where can we put this sleep trigger? I've actually never been up in this mansion, but I suppose we can put it in here in the lounge, which should be probably okay. Unless you want to be very realistic and put it in the put it here in the bedroom. I've never been in this house, guys. This, to me, it's like a new thing. Same with you. This house is empty. There's nothing in it. Alright, so which means it will be stupid to put it here where there's nothing. So let's put it here in the lounge, which should be alright. I'm just going to drop it in here. Go file import. Now we have to go into the actual i3D that we have. Placeables, sleep form 2, sleep trigger. Alright, so we bring that into the map. Wait for it. There it is. And we cut it. Control X. And because this is a gameplay thing, we go into our placeholders, transform, drop it in there. Bloop. It should pop up. There you go. FarmHouse features. Control B. These are at 0. Let me just have a look. I can't remember now if you put the whole thing or if you only put the trigger, sleeping trigger and spawn point, sleep camera. I think it's the whole thing. So let's control B it here, which doesn't make sense because I don't see it. Sleep trigger, is it visible? There it is. That's the trigger marker, sleep camera, spawn point. Okay, so it's all just here. So that's where it's going to appear. So I'm gonna put it on the floor, control B on the floor, and just lift it up a tiny bit, just so that the marker and everything is not on the floor. Alright, so I think that should be alright. So we're not going to do anything with rotation. So Control Shift and C to copy all three into our placeables .xml, so that we can close. This is Pilgrim's Rest, our stoner map. Easy shed, we can close. Farm Mansion, we know it works, we can close. So we go back in here and drop our positioning data in there. Control V, just like that. So now make this things nice. I'm not a too tidy guy, you know. Oh, this just doesn't matter that it's swapped around. There's no order in that. Save it, very important. And then obviously we need something in our store data. Control C, and back into our mod desk, which is Durango mod desk, and grab one of these boys. Control V. Good. Save. Right. I think we're gonna be all right now. So let's have a browse, guys. So if we now go to Farming Simulator 22, hopefully we have solved our FarmHouse issues. And good to have it as a option in the game, so you can now sell the house and also sell the sell point or the spawn point if you feel like getting rid of the stuff, you know. Good. Alright, so let us have a browse. Hopefully now it's sorted. My word, I must get rid of all these other errors. That's what happens when you like do like 10 placeables at a time and then don't test it, you know. Then that's exactly what's happened here. Is I've done all those placeables and I haven't tested the map yet. So now you've got all this little funny stuff popping up that has to be sorted. But yeah, I'll sort them out. No worries. It's just a matter of, it's only that one placeable, strangely enough. So yeah, I'm actually quite happy with that. Alright, so where is our farmhouse now? We should now have a sleep trigger, and I don't see it. Oh, you know what? I forgot about that. Just want to quickly check that farm mansion XML. Very important placeables. No, the XML was... What am I doing now? It's Durango farm mansion. I've got too much stuff open now, guys. I'm just going to save this map and just close it. My word, it is taking forever to save this map now. What is going on? Maybe Windows is in the background busy with stuff that I'm not aware of, you know. Okay, so sleep trigger, farm mansion, placeables, sleep farm. What I wanted to do is check the XML. There is a thing there called bought with farmland. True. So I just want to make sure we don't, yeah, you see, you don't want this key. If you set this up as a second farm trigger, you want this in. But for the base game, oh, I'm gonna have to go out again. Sorry for that, guys, but this is what the video is all about, is helping me solve problems and also helping you solve problems. So yeah, if you run into the same issues, that's what the videos is all about, you know. So now there, you don't want that in there, because that's going to definitely cause problems. So let us go back in there, and then the same thing with could it be farm mansion? I just want to see, make sure that doesn't have it. Yeah, all right, good. Okay, sure, a lot of stuff to think about. There's so many things, you know, to keep in your mind, why things work and why they don't work, and this and that, all the little bobs and bits. Career map, new farmer. I'm just thinking in my mind now, we did put the coordinates in. Yes, we did. So otherwise it will also show up in the wrong spot, you know, which will be quite tragic. While this is loading, I just want to have a quick browse at that sleep trigger, Durango placeables, from sleep to sleep trigger R3D. Just make sure this is at 0, because if it's not at 0, it should be 0, because I don't think I've placed it anywhere. Yeah, it is at 0. Okay, very important. Your R3Ds must always be at 0 for the placeable system, because otherwise it places it with 2 coordinates and it just runs out of the wrong place. I don't actually know where this place is. Is it here? Is it there? Where is it? That's the new Earth thing giving the problems. I think let's just visit this. I can't remember now. Oh, there's another problem also still to be sorted. This thing's spawn point is wrong. Visit the spinnery. F12. Let's fly to the house and go check what's going on there. Flight state on. I can't remember where this house is. It's quite confusing. There by the nice pink tree. I must actually just look on the map so I can remember where it is and why we don't see our sleep trigger. Okay, somewhere here we can land. Right, let's go down. Ooh, yeah, that running speed is now terribly fast. Okay, we don't have a sleep trigger. Why is my sleep trigger not working? For some reason, I don't have a sleep trigger. Then there must be an error for it. So let's browse. Here it is. No store item. Durango, maps, map FR XML sleep trigger. Why is it? Oh my word. Alright. Guys, you are going to kick me off. Never fix the sleep trigger. Oh man, it just gets... That's what happens when you're working on these things at night. You know, you keep on forgetting stuff. It's getting late and you're getting tired and you know. So yeah, that's what happens. All right, so there you go, the directory. I still had it on the other maps directory. So now finally we shall have our sleep trigger working. My word. Default true 1, that should all be fine. And the XML we did check. And how did I save it? Yes, I did save it. For mention, I did not make changes here, so a good thing. No, don't save that. Sleep trigger is fine. That's the important stuff.
Still no.
Right, good. I could have checked that while we were waiting. Good. All right. I think this will be our go that we get it right, guys. So that's the thing. The key to these things is never give up. Just keep on working the problems until you've got it solved. My word. All right. We're almost there, guys. We're almost there. And now I forgot to check where that mansion is, but yeah. Let's just say we overlook the stupidity and don't think about it any further, you know, any more than necessary. My golly gosh, I actually don't see the house or the sleep trigger. Is there still another problem that I didn't see? Oh, hey. Oh. I'm sorry guys, I must actually go to bed and just go and sleep because my focus is gone. Oh my word. I forgot, you have to change obviously change the stuff on the store data also correctly, and then let's just make sure, yeah, just to get it sorted. Oh, word. Oh my word, oh my word. You guys are probably laughing like crazy. Farmer Bob, you should go to bed now. Go to bed, go sleep, feel better. Nooit. Oh, we'll get there, guys. Don't worry about it. We'll get there for sure. But I think about the 100th time, it's not funny anymore, you know. It's getting ridiculous. So yes, right. I promise, guys, it must be working now. It must be working now. Oh my word! All right, confirm. No. Let's have a look now. This guy has been planting like crazy. You see, there's what we've been waiting for all this time, a sleep trigger. So now we can visit it in-house. We should have a little sleep icon here, which we have, which it's actually a tiny bit high. And I suppose it's alright like that. I can leave it like that. Sleep till 8 the next morning. It should give us the little Z's and little stuff going by and then it should all be fine, and it should be the next day. There you go. This guy's like really sleeping like crazy. There you go. Good. I think that is problem solved, and we can run out here, out of the house, dive into the pool for a quick swim. However, this pool is not deep enough by the looks of it. Okay, I'm not going to say anything. The pool is not deep enough. Alright, maybe we should lift this pool needs some more water, guys, so we're going to definitely have to lift this water up. It's actually some beautiful water in here, but it does look like it needs to lift up a bit. Unless this water plane is connected to that one there. I'll just leave it, but anyways, alright. Well, guys, I'm going to end off this video here now. So our house is sorted, our sleep trigger is working. We've got all that built in and sorted out. So let's look at what is left on the original maps placeables. That's our 3 in-game maps. That's our placeable items. It's at the items. So the farmhouse is now done. We can get rid of that. Oh, okay, the farm silo and the farm storage barn. So let us just chuck in farm silo and storage barn. But for peace of mind's sake, I want to have a look at the farm silo just to see what it looks like. And in order to do that, we want to go placeables, farm silo, farm silo. So into, sorry for that, into our original map, which is on my work to do, Durango. FS19 the FS22 one that's been converted. We're gonna go placeables, farm silo, there it is, and farm silo ITD. Good. Got some stuff in my throat now. I don't know what it is about. Oh, okay, it's this old one from FS19. Alright, we've got some nice silos in FS19, and I'll put something similar in there. You can convert this, but it's a massive job, like you've just seen with the farmhouse. You can spend the time on it, fix the XML, you know, add FS22 stuff to the XML. I'm not going to bother with that because we have some nice farm silos. The other farm building is farm storage barn, so it's under farm buildings, farm storage barn. I think this must be a hayloft, you know, so let's just have a look at the hayloft. The hayloft. What on earth is this thing? Okay, now this doesn't look like a thing with too much things. There's no doors on it that I can see. So it's just like a barn thing, and this is actually a nice building, so I'm going to definitely bring this over. Cancel. Let us do this. Let us bring it in, because it's an XML driven thing. I'm going to bring this in. Let's just first have a look at that XML, by the way, while we're here. Farm storage barn base. What did they chuck out? Just the day-night stuff, which is not needed in FS22. It's got clear leveling. I'm going to leave all of that as is and just use it as is, because they have converted this. Simple placeable, very nice. So it's just a standard placeable that we can bring in, which shouldn't cause any issues. There's no working parts or any of that. So what we're going to do is file, export with files, go into Durango. I think what I want to do first, let us do this first. Open up the farm storage barn and see where it gets all its things from. So there it is, building shader. So all the files is, by the looks of it, on the in the local map. You see, so we're going to have to export it to bring it over. Yeah, you can't just copy it, because otherwise you have to copy all these little files out of the map into that folder and reroute all these lines in the i3D to its new place. So it's actually much easier to just go File, Export Selection with Files. We go into Mods, Durango Placeables. Now this is imported or imports, and then I'm going to put it in here as, what's it called? It's called Vehicle Shed with a capital S. So it's I keep on forgetting, guys, to copy the name before you export. Then you can just paste it here. You know, it's so simple to do. So save. So what I do is, because all the imports is in this folder, I use this, and then I put the i3D in the same directory as the imports, and then all the stuff that is on the original map will come into its respective folders here and overwrite the files that needs to be overwritten. If there is duplicates, it will overwrite it so there isn't duplicates, you know. So yeah, that's the best way to do it. Then that way you save space on your map as well. And when it gets to this, you just say no to both, and the whole map should be there. So I'm not going to save anything here because it's the original one. And now we're going to go back to our items, placeable. It was a standard placeable, so we're obviously not going to need a class name and all that. So I'm just going to copy this line, copy it. Sorry, that was farm storage barn. We're now busy with the barn. I should have done the silo first, but let's go on with the barn. Copy that line, bring it in here, Control V. So what we want to do is grab this like so, Control C, overwrite this up to there, Control V, bring this back. Sorry, wrong thing. There you go. File name. We need to change the directory. While we add it, let's take it from the start. So in here, we now have a directory for Durango. So it's imports. So sorry, the XML we want to put in our map XML. So it's just going to go to here, same as on top, XML like that. Farm storage barn.xml. Great. So now farm buildings, farm storage barn, copy that, bring it into our map under XML, drop it in here, and there it is. Now we can open that up. The sleep trigger we're done with, we can leave that for now. And we need to change this because this is going to change. Now we have to go to Durango, imports. Our farm storage barns should be here. Where is it? Farm storage barn, farm storage barn. Why don't I see it? Maybe. No, it wasn't farm storage barn. It was called some shed, vehicle shed. There it is. All right, so vehicle shed, like I always say, open it up, zero the i3D, because we've exported it now, remember. Vehicle shed, it is 0. Okay, wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful. What's Durango import shed? All right, so that is very cool. Nothing else here to do. We just need to grab the imports directory, copy that, so, and overwrite this, farm buildings, Control V. So it will be imports, farm storage barn needs to change to vehicle shed. Control C, Control V, just like that. So it's a vehicle shed now, and I think it's going to be the same thing with this. Control C, Control V. Sometimes the store stuff doesn't export, so just make sure that you find that store farm storage barn, otherwise you'll have an error. So into here we need to find a thing called store farm storage barn. I don't see it here. It's like I said, make sure. Where did it put it? Let's just have a look. Open with notepad. What was it called? What was it called now? Just want to make sure. Sorry, it's here. It's called Control C. In here, Control FV. Can we find it? It's not even calling that little, but the XML is calling it. So it's not in the i3D. Sorry, it won't be in the i3D. So we are done with the i3D for vehicle shed. Just want to make sure. So it even brought the building shader in. What you can do now is obviously route this building shader to the one in the map, in the base game, but I'm not going to be bothered with that. Farm storage barn. Alright, so need to go into the original and just copy store farm storage barn. Store farm storage barn. Control C that. Drop that in here into our map. Sorry, in there to imports. Control V. But I wonder why it didn't bring it in. Maybe it parked it in here. Nope. I'm not going to be bothered too much. Alright, so we know it's there. We know that is fine. The rest of the stuff should be alright. Okay, so back to our placeables. The positioning. Why is this positioning so far? My word. I think it's because of the file names. We can bring those back a little bit. They don't need to be there in the distance, you know, so let's just bring them back a little bit. That's better. Alright. Rotation, default farm property, yes, all of that, and then that we need to get rid of. That will cause errors in your map. Good. Okay, so now farm storage barn. I suppose all this directory stuff should be alright. And lastly, we also want to grab the store data once again. XML, make sure it's the right store data. Going to save this for now. Mod desk, overwrite this one. Control V. Alright. Grab that too. Control X, drop it in there. Right, so there you are, farm storage barn. That should be okay. Okay, so the farm storage barn should be in the map then, if we have everything done. Remember to save once you've edited, because otherwise, yeah, you're going to run into problems like like we've done 10 million times. It's not there, it's not there, what's the problem? And then you have to come in and out and in and out, like we've done a million times. But that's what map making is all about, guys. Just figuring out the stuff, and as you continue to pull your hair out, you know, stuff will start making sense eventually. It's not crazy. Oh my word. Okay, farm storage barn. So let's have a browse. See if there's anything popping by for that. It's actually called vehicle shed. It loads the i3D here in the game, not the XML. The XML runs in the background, and it only shows the i3D that loads here, because that's what the XML pulls. So you see when your map runs by all your stuff, it will only show the i3Ds that it's loading via the XMLs. Oh, look at this nice stuff here. So I've got no idea where this farm storage barn should be on this yard, but we can look for it. There it is. Nice, beautiful. This is it here. Let's have a browse if it is true. In order to check that, we go to buy construction, and then just click on it. Farm storage shelter. There it is. Okay, so you can sell it. Should be alright to sell. Okay, so just testing that while you added Just make sure all your XML stuff work. And a good tip, guys, once you've sold something, just check that you don't have errors, because sometimes when you sell something your map crashes or it gives weird errors there. So a good tip there for you as well is to verify that you actually have a working XML system, because if there's problems in the XML, it will definitely crash your game and give errors there, and it will hang and do other kinds of weird stuff. Or it will do nothing, just give errors, which will later in game crash your game. That also happens. Right, so the last one on the placeables before we do the trains is obviously that silo, the farm silo. So I'm not going to copy that line. What we're going to do is just a normal placeable, normal farm silo. But let's first have a browse what we have available in game. There's quite a few nice farm silos. If I remember correctly, data placeables, I can't remember what all this stuff was, but there were some sheds and things. So it's not a grow horse culture. I know it's not lizard. I think it was under I know the lizard has got, I think, farm silos, and then there's also obviously the. I'm looking. I'm not talking about your normal stuff here at the bottom, like the where is it? The meridians and those, because these are the fertilizer bins and that, and then I think it's the neuro whatever store. Let's just have a look at the store icon. Yeah, you see, so these are also quite nice. Will it work there? Because I remember that one had 2 bins. It will also work there. It will also work there. And these are bigger ones. These are massive things. If I remember. Oh no, I've opened the i3D. Oh my word. Do not open the i3D. These are big. It's going to be way too big. So I don't think this map is big enough to warrant such huge storage facilities. I think it's the Unias, the farmers. Yes, the Unia farmers. They are the normal ones that we all come to know and love. Have a look at this, and that's our normal farmer. And I think almost that's an extension, if I'm right. Just have a look. Silo extension. Yes, it's a silo extension. So that's not an actual silo. And I think probably. I think the Farmer 150, it's also a silo extension, so those two are not part of the game. Silo extension, so I think from the 250, yes, from the 250 it starts to be actual silos. Am I talking trash now, guys? What am I talking here? That's storage. Is extension true? So even the 250 is not a actual silo. Can it be? I thought the 250 is a silo. No, it's an extension. Okay. 400 is the first one, definitely. I know the 400. I've used it many times. Yeah, so that's the 2 bins with a little tower. So let's go for the 400, guys. So Farmer 400. Alright, so the Farmer 400 features in almost every map. I think the easiest will probably be the US map. So let's have a look under map US. Just have a look at farm buildings. Farm shed, farm barn. No, sorry, I'm talking nonsense. We want to look at the placeable system. That's what we wanted to look. This is the Alpine. Here we go. Even the Alpine has got the 400. We can use it here. Silo, default farm properties is here at the bottom. Easy shit, Farmer 400. There it is. So let's just grab that line. Control C. So it's placeables, Union, Farmer 400, wara. The whole shebang. Just straightforward, guys. Nothing fancy, nothing weird. Just all as the in-game stuff. So this is the easiest placeables to do. Is to just drop them straight from the game into your map have it appear and work properly. You know, we're not going to be bothered with the rest. So default farm property, definitely. If you work with farm stuff, always have that too. And farm ID, you always have to have that. And if you work on your main farm, which is the one that you spawn in and actually has as a farmer, you have to always have default farm property true. If it's a second farm, you make it false and farm ID 2. And then also you have to specify the XML bought with farmland true in the base section of that actual XML. All right, so we're not going to modify anything in this placeable or silo, so we're just going to leave it, let it be. But we want to do this, Control C, get to our mod disk. Oh, this is our last line as well, so Control V. And remember, in the mod disk you need the $ in front, otherwise you will not get your not the actual $. Otherwise you will not get that thing working. All right, so here we go. I need to copy that. Control X, drop it in there. You can actually leave this for later on in game, you know, to figure out. Control C, V. Just make a few new ones for the next stuff that's going to come. Oops. We want to skip that up to that one, and then have those there. All right, so save that up. So that is our farm thing put in. Now we just need to place it with the items and get the position and rotation from the silo. So position and rotation, let's copy that, drop it in here, farmer 400, Control V, just like that. And for the eagle eye amongst you, I've just made a mistake. If you do this on yours, the same thing I've just done, I'm going to show you now where it is. There's no space there. I've luckily just picked it up. There needs to be spaces. If you don't have a space there, you'll have an error. I've spent an hour and a half once trying to figure out where the problem is, and there wasn't a space in a line somewhere, and I just kicked myself like crazy, you know, just to be honest. It does drive you nuts when this type of things happen, you know. Alright, so let's save that up. Now we should have a storage barn as well as a Unia Farmer 400 in our thingamabobs there in the map. And then I'm going to end this video here. Like I said earlier on, I wanted to end, but I thought let me just push through with the placeables section, so we can on our next video just tackle the trains, which is going to be exciting. Get all the trains working. Right, so this will hopefully be our last startup of this video for the game, so we can have a browse quickly to see if that two things appear in our map and is working. Normally when I do this type of thing, I don't test everyone afterwards test, because it drives you nuts to go this way. It just happens to work out now this way. So but normally what I do is I do like probably up 5 or 10 placeables and then do a test, you know, and then fix all the problems in between that last time that I've done, and then, you know. So there you go. There's our farmer looking all pretty. I wanted to visit that, please. Thank you very much. Alright, so I think that is spiffy, very spiffy. So our farmer is there, our shed is there, and what was the other thing? It was just a barn and the shed and this mansion. So that's the 4 placeables from the items, silo and then storage barn. So then that concludes now then, like I said, our thingamabobs, and we are all happy. Now a tip on that farm storage barn, guys. If you want to the farm silo, if you want to take this silo and add custom fruit to it, you cannot do what we've just done. You have to place that XML, because now you have to I'm actually talking trash. You can do it in FS19. You couldn't. Let me just show you guys what I'm talking about. If you I just wait for this thing to exit. If you look at this XML for that we are pulling in, where is it now? Here it is. So it's uniform of form of 400. Okay, so placeables uniform 400. If you look at this XML, it's going to not give you any place here where it tells you what fruit can go in the farm silo. And that is because in FS19 you used to be able to tell it what fruits are in here. So in FS22 it works differently. You actually specify your farm silos storages here. You see storage, it's field type categories, it's farm silo. So you can modify this in here if you want and put field type categories in here for it, but it is actually in your map field types specified already at the bottom. If you go right to the bottom of your map field types, it is specified here under farm silo. There it is, you see. So field type category is farm silo, and then you can give it whatever. So if you want to add custom fruit, you put this XML in your map directory, or you can just add it here. But if you don't want to change the other farm silos on your map, say you've got different farms, but on this specific farm you want to have its certain stuff in the silo, like maybe you want to add stuff in there like hay or whatever. People do funny things, you know, or grass. You can do that, but then you have to add it here, but that will change all the farm silos. So all you do is add another field type category here, make a new line or duplicate this line and just call it farm silo, whatever the name is you put in there. You have to come into the XML, you put this XML that's in the base game, put it in your map, reroute your placeable as well as this the store item section in the mod desk to the new XML that you've copied now to your map, and then you can come in here and change the field type category here to whatever you've called it in the field types XML here. So when your new section is named, and then you can specify there for that specific silo whatever you want to put in there. So it's a better system to have it running this way, you know. It just makes more sense this way. So I like this system that they've got in FS22. Works much better. Well guys, it's been a pleasure and a lot of fun, but yeah, it's time for me to say goodbye, and big thank you to all my supporters. If you're not on my Patreon yet, I do appreciate all you Patreon guys that do support me. There's a lot of guys supporting me and I really like it. Though it be only $1, it is perfectly fine with me. I don't care. It does help. It really does help me. So thanks so much for every one of you guys that keeps on supporting my channel. It just makes life easy for me and it keeps the channel going, you know. So it is wonderful. I really appreciate that, guys. Well guys, take care, man. Have fun, and I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers, man. Bye bye.